Okay, you ever like try to talk to a girl or try to talk to a dude, right? And whatever, you maybe thought they were attractive or something, whatever. And I don't know, I'll give you an example. They had a certain type of shoe on. You didn't think it was the best then, but you ignored it, right? And you try to talk to them and they weren't interested. And then later on, they don't give you their number. You're like, yeah, that's why your shoe ain't got no laces or some nonsense. You look crazy. There's like a small nuance to that, right? And that's part of the problem with Thug's rant about Kendrick Lamar. And he also brings up Drake in that. Is that what's a two-part problem? The first one is it's supposed to be private. Like if I told my man's, yeah, this girl was cute, but her sneakers was busted up, whatever. But I would have talked to her without it. But she denied me. Man, that's why her sneakers was busted up. It's a different thing, right? But if it becomes public, it's you look crazy, and that's why he got to know better. Cause dog, a jail call. I don't know nothing about the streets, but I don't know nothing about jail. I should say. What you can't be saying that. There's so many stuff he's been saying that I'm like, you thought nobody tapped that? You're in state investigations. But anyway, going forward. Now let's talk about this, right? So Young Thug says a number of things. Not all of them we'll be able to go through, but one of them he says, he tried to get a feature from Kendrick. If you haven't seen the whole video, I'll tag it at the bottom. Basically he's talking to, I guess what sounds like a business partner or manager, and he's not sure if Kendrick's gonna do it. I guess he's not gonna do it. And then he says, oh, Kendrick doesn't take money, right? Like, so I guess, so when you say that, you're letting the audience know Kendrick really does it, because if he's feeling the project or not, or if he's feeling the work or not, if it matches, where he's at or not. So we hear that. And the third thing is Thug starts listing a bunch of people that, Kendrick would be better off working with. And then he makes the comparison with Drake. Like, he's not going to be as big as Drake. Drake feeds families and things like that, working with different people. So let's go through them one by one. Number one, I will say this. I think Young Thug is a different type of artist. I think Thug is someone that does a lot of features and, can fit with many people. That's a positive. Drake sometimes tends to, I wouldn't say sometimes, most times, tends to match that. He can do different things and wants to do different things. And they focus on their, singles and playlists and stuff like that. And I think it's very important to know that Kendrick, especially about post 2018 or so, right, kind of does his own thing, right? He kind of does his own thing. He's very selective about what he does and what he wants to work with. But the problem with that, though, is he does do features. I guess he's just not doing the features with the people you want, right? Because on one hand, Young Thug, you'll bring up a money bag yo, right? And it's like, who have we been critiquing Kendrick for working with this entire time, right? Kodak Black. I'm like, dog, you got Kodak Black all over Mr. Morale and Big Steppers. Why? Most likely because Kodak Black represents something for bro. Recently, Playboy Cardi, a whole dialogue about that. And now I'll give you a few other things, right? And Hip Hop All Day just listed a whole bunch of other artists whose most streamed songs on Spotify collaborate with Kendrick Lamar. You got Trav, you got 2 Chainz, Schoolboy Q, Sir, Big Crit. So the list goes on and on, right? These are people he's worked with. I'm not making this stuff up, right? But maybe Young Thug is not aware, or Young Thug wants it to be done a certain way. It's like you can't really pick and choose. And the same critique I have for Young Thug, I have for people who sometimes will say the same thing about the person Young Thug is championing, right? Which is Drake. So Thug is comparing Drake to Kendrick, and it's like, no, what you like about Drake is what you like about Drake, right? That's that, right? And Kendrick has his own way. He might want to do Young Threat, J Hitter on the GNX because it embodies the West Coast sound. It's nothing you do about that. That's what he wants to do. Now, the next thing is, it looks kind of crazy because now you're telling me, all right, bro didn't want to work with you, right? Maybe he felt like, and remember I talked about Young Thug being outright about, his loyalty to Drake, right? And all this stuff is brewing in the background. Must I remind you, Young Thug, people are entitled to feel like you probably got more loyalty towards Drake, and, things are brewing, 2022, 2023. I see him and Cole on stage. I'm thinking about planning a war. He might not want to, work with you. And that's when people brought up Squabble Up to me. I don't really think this is, a direct hit at Thug, but this is on some if the shoe fits, right? So we got Pipe Down Young, right? So we got all that. But then we go, tell me why the F you niggas rap is fictional. Tell me why the F you niggas is fed if you criminal. A dot, can I get a drop? I'm like, nigga, no. So it's like, all right, this just sounded a little prophetic, right? But then eventually at the end he says, hopefully he does the song though. And I was like, okay, that definitely is some dude that thought like He was just chatting with us, you know what I'm saying? What he's saying not good, right? You bad mouthing another dude that you want on an album, but I get that. Like that's all human shit. A lot of y'all do that. Everybody does it. I don't want to hear it, but doesn't mean that it's great for Thug. This is bad timing. All the stuff that's been coming out is bad timing. The street stuff, it's all weird. The rant stuff. This one, the reason I think it's even worse timing is because now we're getting into you talking about other artists and bad mouthing other artists. I mean, there was even a Baby King stray, you know what I'm saying? It's interesting, I'll be honest, I think Baby King is cool, but to say that, Baby King ain't big. If he wasn't attached to Kendrick, would I care that much? Family Ties is one of the biggest Baby King songs, you know what I'm saying? So I think Baby King got put on the soundtrack before he even was Baby King, right? That's his cousin. So you gotta be careful. Motherfuckers start calling you an industry plant, right? Oh, Kendrick giving you too many features. So there's so much to this that you're saying that it goes to my earlier point. It's like, nah, this just sounds like you try to talk to a girl, she's being funny, and then you know what I'm saying? You didn't talk shit to her, but you was talking shit to your mans. But imagine if she heard you down the street. You look crazy, right? So, yeah, this is just tough week, man. We gotta get the PR team. I seen Thugger Daily tweeting. Gunner Daily and Lil Baby Daily call me now.